Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's doing good. Just get a mic check going on here. Wanted to go live with you guys, talk about a few things. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. Having a good day today. Let some people pull up here for a minute. All right, looks like we're good. I just want to make sure we're good. All right, let's talk about a few things. All right, so want to talk about why I started this channel. Appreciate anybody that's like been a new subscriber to my channel. I started this channel. I've been talking about sports and mainly Raiders football for a long, long time, long before I started this channel. I started the card collecting channel really just to share my experiences and, talk about sports sometimes. One of the main, goals at the time I started, I thought I might try to do was like a sports fandom kind of thing. You guys can go back all the way when I first started this channel, interviewed Jimmy Guns on his sports fandom, and then as well as my homie Raider Dave. So thought those were good interviews, but that was kind of one of the goals I wanted to try to do in the future was, talk about sports. So any of the new subscribers, I appreciate that. There has been a lot of drama in the hobby, and not just like what happened to me with Whatnot and Prestige Polls, but also um, there's been, I don't know how involved you guys are with, the sports card world, but, there's been a lot of drama with the shield bidding thing with Beckett interviewing Patrick Ryan. And so, someone whose show I'd gone on to was Professor Sports Cards. He's a good dude. Appreciate him for letting me, come on there and kind of give my take on some things, as well as, talked about the Prestige Polls thing and what happened. Geo with Sports Card Nonsense was on there, and me and him got in a little bit heated debate. You could say we both could have handled it, better and differently. We made up. We're cool now. I don't have anything against him and whatnot. Just really, I think, we were both heated. I was trying to explain everything that happened. I don't think they wanted all the details, and kind of, got, when I say heated, it's an understatement. So, probably could have handled that a little better, but I also think there was times where, I'm being interrupted trying to explain the situation. And I get it, dude. We live in this microwave society where people have the brains and the IQ of a peanut, and if it's not a 15-second video, people don't have the brain capacity to like comprehend, what's going on, or when someone's trying to like, tell you, all the info. And so, they just want to skip, watch the first 15 seconds and then the very end, and, make their assessment by, 30 seconds without knowing all the facts. So that's why, when I did the Prestige Polls video, I tried to show all the evidence, everything I had, state my case, uh, and stuff like that. But Professor Sports Card, when I was on there, he had reposted the live stream. He cut it up when me and Geo got into it, and some people, went in there and had some opinions for, you know, um, their own like take on the thing or whatever. And everybody's allowed to have an opinion, obviously. But that live stream was from like at least a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. But you know, so I've been trying to get past the Prestige Polls thing, but that gets brought up again, and people start running their mouth with their peanut-sized brains, and they just really don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So, but you guys go over Professor Sports Cards, you can watch that edit he did. And I also went on Professor Sports Cards, and we talked about, like for me and my channel, it was like I created this channel mainly to share my experience with you guys of like my card collecting, whether I open a box or if I buy some singles, just to share the experience with everybody, but like one of the things, I haven't always had a chance to do on this channel, or as much as I'd like to, is, talk about, sports and how sports and card collecting, go together. Because as much as I love collecting cards, I think the thing missing out of the card collecting is there's not enough people that talk about sports and card collecting. I think Geo from Sports Card Nonsense, I actually like him and I respect him. He's probably one of the few people that has an actual like IQ when it comes to sports card collecting and relating sports fandom and sports cards. And guess what? Like, without sports, you don't have sports cards. You don't get that no, Pokemon pack or anything like that, and that's a whole nother deal I'll talk about later on about, some of my views on, that I've had for a long time about the whole Pokemon thing. I call it Poke Scam, but, that's going to be a spicy video coming up. So, but I don't have no beef with Geo. I appreciate Professor Sports Cards for letting me come on. I went on there, tried to ask some questions. I've been dealing with some stuff with my mom, not finding excuses or whatever, but my head's not exactly in the game to want to do long formatted videos and stuff right now. And I'll explain why and what's going on with my mom in a second, because I know some of you guys have been rocking with me for years, long time, going back, some of you past, the virus and stuff like that. So you guys kind of, some of you know what's been going on with my mom. So, but one of the things that, questions I'd asked them about like NBA and stuff was like, what NBA sports player do you think like is undervalued versus their like card prices? That was one of the things I wanted to ask. And since he has a card channel, I thought it'd be like a good topic. I had a few questions, like, 5 or 6 or something that I wanted to ask. There's like 3 about basketball, I think, and then 3 about baseball. And, kind of got put on the spot. And some people, think that Joker isn't a good player, or that he, I don't know. It's hard for me to understand where people are coming from. It's probably because they just collect Pokemon cards and like sniff too much glue or something, dude. Like it just fathoms me. But Joker is one, 3 MVPs. He had 55 points the other night. I think, Joker with the Nuggets is one of the best players in the NBA. And I think his card prices don't match the level of play that he brings to the game, And so, am I trying to pump up Joker? No. Does my son own a few Joker cards? Yeah, they're not like super bangers or anything, but I've done some research on it, and you look at some of these other guys, like some of the other greats out there, and their card prices are much higher than Joker. And so for me, I thought it would just be a good topic to bring. Like, hey, is there anybody you're looking at? And I get it. Some people, they have card channels, they don't want to really talk about cards or sports. The other question I'd asked is about, the A's and Nick Kurtz getting Rookie of the Year, for the MLB. And I thought that was pretty amazing. Thought he'd be excited about, Nick Kurtz getting, the Rookie of the Year. And nobody really was, it was just kind of like, but, my vision for sports cards and talking about sports, I think, is different than other people's. And there's a place for people like me that want to talk about sports and how it relates to sports cards, but there's a lot of other people that really don't, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not for everybody, and not everybody is for me, and I can't, like, there's things where like I might be negative sometimes or come off the handle, but like with everything I've dealt with in my life, from the Army and combat, and have to worry about getting blown up and stuff like that, like I can't be negative all the time, dude. Like, if I just, I look at it and I'm like, what are we doing here? So, I try my best to be positive, and I was just trying to bring something a little different, but, it's all good, no hard feelings. It is what it is. And then, all right, there's 2 quick points I want to make on this prestige polls thing, and then I'm going to put this shit to bed, or try my best to put this shit to sleep. Okay. Because I think a lot of people with these peanut sized brains, there's a lot of people out there that miss the 2 main points in everything. When I'm heated, I'm getting interrupted. I can't like get across my point of how important these things are. Okay. About the main issue and what I have with like what happened to me with prestige polls and whatnot. One is the SOP from whatnot is completely messed up. If something happens to you, right? If something happens to you and you, somehow have your card go missing, you're at the mercy of whatnot to determine the value of your card. Whatnot, it could be like, say it's like an extreme card, like $10,000. You think whatnot could say that card's worth like 5,000. They could tell you it's worth 1,000. Okay. And then to top it off, the next issue that is the main critical point in all this, whatnot is not going to give you, say they value that card at $1,000. Okay. They're not going to put $1,000 back in your bank account. Okay. of what the value of the card is. They're going to give you $1,000 credit for their platform. So then you're forced to go on their platform and spend that $1,000. You can't take that money and go over to eBay and buy the card that you want, okay, or replace the card like what happened to me. Mine was much lower value, but you know, it's funny because with this peanut-sized brain society we have, people can't fathom the concept that like, hey, if I get screwed and I get a credit from whatnot, I can't use that money to go spend on eBay or go spend on whatever auction or whatever you want to do with the money. It should be your money. There's no way in hell, in my opinion, that anybody should be cool with, you know, whatnot freaking, you know, just giving you a credit and then you're forced to have to either go buy into a break or go buy singles. But like you have to recycle that money on their platform. And guess what? They're going to make money off the money that you reinvest back in their company. So I think it's complete horse manure, and it really fires me up because we have this many ignorant people that can't put 1 + 1 = 2. Okay. All right. The last thing I'm going to say on this is the recent sales of the card that I got screwed on. And then we're going to move on and open some cards here. All right. Coming up first. Make sure this is the right one. You guys see that? Okay. All right. So here's like the most recent sales. These first ones are going to be graded, but I just want to show you guys something because the main issue that I had with Prestige Pulls was the value of the card. I felt like $45 was too low. Okay. Definitely. I felt like 45, $50 was way too low. And, you know, was my 300 to, you know, 400, like, you know, a little out there. Yeah, it was, you know, I was a little high on my assessment, but you got to understand, I valued it as if I would get it graded. Would it have got a PSA 10? We don't know. It could or it could not have. But here you can see one sale of the same card that I would have gotten from Prestige Pulls, 3 out of 75 PSA 10, sold for $187.50 on October 8th. So there's that one. Okay. So 180, 190. Here we have a sell. Exact same card, PSA 10 out of 75, $350 or $349.99, sold on October 31st. PSA 10, right? So again, because people will get it twisted, and I've said this, yeah, we don't know for sure if mine would have got a PSA 10. But my evaluation when I said it's 300 plus if I get a PSA 10, here is a sell that you guys can see. Here's the facts with your peanut fucking brains. That one sold on October 31st for $350. All right, next up, November 2nd, PSA 10. Oh, pop 2, you know. One of these could have been my card, got sent in to get graded. Funny, huh? Real funny, man. All right, $299, one sold on November 2nd for. So there you go. That's, you know, the gist of it. Another sell for $300 on November 2nd. And then here's a raw card. Here's a raw card value that sold for $94.99. So like my evaluation, like when I didn't agree with it being $45, you know, and it should be like $95. Look, here's a raw card sell for $95. So the people that have been trying to clap back at me and run their fucking mouth, I'm not wrong, dude. You just don't have enough brain capacity to fathom the facts, and I just showed you the facts. So you guys do with it what you want. I really don't give a shit, you know? I really fucking don't. So I wasn't wrong. I'm still not wrong. Maybe a little high my evaluation. You know, hard to say if I would have got a PSA 10, but unfortunately, Prestige Pulls scammed me, and I never even had a chance to get a PSA 10. So there's that. All right. So that's probably the last. I'm going to try to make that the last I'm going to say about this shit. And people will be like, well, you can't evaluate the card as if I got it graded. The fuck I can't, dude. Like they should have shipped me the card, you know, and if they didn't do that, then they should have bought the card from eBay, a raw card sale, and shipped it to me. They didn't do it. They had no integrity. They didn't want to really resolve the issue. They're just a bunch of fucking clowns that want to like argue about the value of the card. And I don't even think the values that were in there before these sales, I don't think they're valid. I think those were, you know, somebody pulling some shenanigans and shit, but whatever. All right. Last thing This one's tough, man. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't, but I will tell you guys, you know, the stuff with my mom has been bad. It's been real tough. And it's looking like, I'll pull some up here real quick. There's something I want to do. All right. So there's something that I'll pull up here for you guys, but we had moved my mom, down here from Montana, this summer. That was a big ordeal. Things went bad. My mom went in the hospital. She's been in the ICU and intensive care. I thought things were going to go for the positive. It's not looking that way. Try to keep my shit together on here because I've already, this thing's already affected me enough and it's still ongoing. But it's looking like my mom is not going to be here much longer, unfortunately. So, probably the next day or two, she's no longer going to be with us. So just want this as a time capsule, I guess. And I thought we'd get like a Thanksgiving or Christmas out of the deal with my mom, at least have one with her. And looks like God had other plans. So just want to say, Mom, just want to say, Mom, I love you. I'll miss you. This is my Christmas present from my mom. So we're going to open that in a minute. And let's just have a moment of silence for when my mom leaves this earth tomorrow or the next day. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll say, so I'll probably get flagged for that. I don't care. It's hard to say goodbye. And let's just leave it at that. Let's open these cards. Thank you, Mom, for the Christmas present. Give me a minute. I'll flip my camera around. Gotta turn the green screen off. Give me a second. It's been tough, man. Thanks, Kevin. Means a lot, bro. Trying to keep my shit together right now. Pretty hardcore usually, but this one's got me pretty jacked up, man. All right. So here we go. It's a holiday mega box. Maybe we'll get something good for my mom. This will be get something nice out of here, something we're gonna keep for forever. So Like a Christmas ornament thing. Dylan Cruz. All right. Oh, this was like a $30 box, just so you guys know. So I got this from Fanatics, Ryan Bliss. The deal out of door. Jacob deGrom, Jordan Alvarez. They're actually kind of cool. Dylan Cruz rookie. It's kind of cool. It's got like the wreath around the card there. Christian Campbell. Marcus Ramirez. Cal Raleigh. That was one of the other questions. Who do you think is going to win MVP? But I don't know. I don't remember if you can get autos in this or not. Shout out to the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw. Last, probably some of the last prints you're going to see of him. He's retiring Kyle Tucker. But congratulations to the Dodgers. Jackson Chourio. Wyatt Langford. Ian Happ. Thought I'd open these with you guys. Maybe make me feel a little better. Not really, but Kumar Rocker, Reese Hines, Mason Wynn, Hunter Green, Julio Rodriguez, Spencer, Trey Turner, Shea Langoliers, Aaron Judge. Ooh, sick, dude. Shohei freaking Ohtani, dude. Look at that. I don't know if that's short print or super short print. It's like got glitter on the front or something. I'm going to check out here in a second. Just want to get it in a sleeve here real quick. There we go. Wow. You can see it here. It's like got this like glitter on there, like Christmas tree glitter. I don't know if that's a short print, but that's a freaking badass card. Excuse me. What do you guys think? Shohei Ohtani top 5 all time in MLB right now with that playoffs and what is it? Was it like 8 home runs or something he got? Or does he need to do more to be top 5 all-time MVP players, you know? Joe Alvarez. Oh, sorry. Matt Stram. Bryce Lewis. Maybe every pack has like something like this. Oh, we got a numbered card. There we go. How about a rookie, Caden Dania? 318 out of 499. It's like a chrome. Then we got a Jung-Hoo Lee sparkle card. It's pretty cool. So not too bad so far. Got for $30, you know. Thought that would be nice to see what they have in these guys and if they have anything nice. You know, I'll say Topps so far, you know, a little biased, but so far I think Topps and I think these holiday cards are probably better than like Panini's so far, I think. There we go. Jacob Wilson. That's kind of a cool picture. Rookie. Juan Soto. Byron Buxton. Matt Olson. Jace Young. Valdemar Guerrero. He did pretty good. Bobby Witt Jr. Zach Neto. It's a pretty neato card. I mean, at least Topps made like some boxes that are, you know, cost effective where you get some like nice looking cards out of it. So a lot of times that feels like it's not the case with boxes, Panini. Like you get them, you know, you open them up and it's just like you get skunked a lot of times. Zach Wheeler, Chris Sale, Pete Crow Armstrong, Matt Chapin, Pete Alonso, Royce Lewis. What do you guys think of these Sparkle cards so far? Not bad. Lewis Robert Jr., Luis Castillo, Angel Martinez, Josh Young, Jose Altuve, Tyler Soderstrom, Jason Dominguez, Justin Henry, Malloy, Evan Carter, and Mike Trout. So this was reversed, and it's Mike Trout. So I don't know. It's supposed to be like a special card. He's got like a wreath around his neck. I don't know if that's like them making it like a short print or something unique, but we'll put it in a sleeve and top load it. Darren Baker, Shohei, Michael Harris, Christian Yelich, Matt Shaw, Ricky, Cole Reagans, Roki Sasaki, and Shohei Ohtani. Then I got a rookie of Nacho Alvarez. All right, keep it moving here. Leave these later. Oh, is this the back? Rafael Devers. Chase. Delander. Hey, nice. I was hoping to get Nick Kurtz out of this deal. Any other Ace fans out there excited about Nick Kurtz and what he might be able to do in the future? I was. I thought him getting rookie there was pretty freaking cool, man. If you're an Ace fan, you should be excited. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz, Ryan Hesley, Spencer Steer, Mookie Betts, Ozzie Albies, Great Louder, Nolan Arenado. All right, last pack. Last pack Magic. George Kirby, Rafael Devers, Yu Darvish, Austin Riley, Austin Wells, Trey Sweeney, Anthony Santander, Mason Miller, Will Warren, and I don't even Sedane Rafaela. All right, should do a little recap, I guess. All right, quick recap. What we got? We got a Mike Trout with a reef around his neck. Not sure if that's something short print or something. Zach Neto, Royce Lewis, Jung-Hoo Lee, rookie Nacho Alvarez Jr., Sedane Rafaela, Caden Dana, 318 out of 499 numbered, rookie. My guy Nick Kurtz, home run leader for rookies. Well, I'm pretty sure he was above all the other rookies for home runs. He had like 36, but that was pretty cool. He got rookie of the year. I think he's got potential to be really good down the road. Last, how about the Shohei Ohtani? It's a really cool looking card. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing. Catch you guys next time. Hardcore card collecting.